Welcome to Discovering. Today we're in the northern UP on Portage Lake with pro fisherman Mark Martin.
Nice walleye, big walleye. Holy smoke, that's gotta be a 30-incher. That's a 10-pounder. Yeah, holy smokes, he's got a whitefish in his mouth.
That's all tonight, so sit back, put your feet up. It's Monday night and time for Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone. Forest thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak. Surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields. Call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill. The eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
Fall is a time of change. The sun spends less time in our sky. Trees change from their lush green to an even more lush spectrum of colors. Fish change from their summer patterns to their fall rituals, and that includes fattening up for the impending months of winter. As fishermen, we need to change our techniques to match. To learn more, I hopped in a boat with pro fisherman Mark Martin and a group of friends for a day on Houghton County's Portage Lake.
Got him. All right, Larry, you got one there now. Want to get the net there, Kurt? Nice smallmouth. Nice smallmouth there, Larry. That's a really nice smallmouth. Get them out here too. Like I say, it's a potpourri, isn't it?
Yep.
Walleye, smallmouth, and we had a bite off on a northern, so it's you never know what you're going to be getting out here. That's for sure. On these crick chubs, everything bites them, and suckers. And this time of year, we just seen that fish down there, and I just went over it, and then he grabbed it. That's the best way to go in here and kind of surgically remove these hooks here, so you don't hurt the fish. There it is. That way, when you go up through the gills like that, instead of going down through the mouth right there, that'll rip the tissue and start bleeding and everything. If you can go up through the gills and twist the hook and pop it out like Larry and I working together at this, you can save fish like that instead of killing them. I have a number 2 Daiichi bleeding bait hook, and I hook them right through the upper lip right there, not through both lips, because you want to be able to get good penetration. You hook them through both lips, and a lot of times you don't get a good penetration. And then I have a egg sinker here and a little bead it's a little rattle bead, and then the sinker, when you're going along, you pick it up and you're kind of smacking it all the time. It makes a little noise down there, and it attracts them. They pick it up with their lateral line, and then hopefully you get them. When you put these things down too, you stop them, then let them go, stop them, let them go, stop them, let them go every 2-3 feet, because if you let it just plummet down the sinker, the bait will come up, wrap around the line, and get tangled up. I don't cut my line any shorter than that on any of my hooks, crankbaits, swivels, snaps, anything, jigs, anything I tie on. That's the shortest I have it. you can see it didn't really bother the last few fish that we've caught. You know, if people worry about that much tagging, they're worrying about the wrong thing. You got to worry about doing the methods right, not how you put it on necessarily. Maybe if you're fishing trout or something in a stream, you might want to shorten it up a little bit, but we're not fishing trout in a stream. And you get down in this water and there's a lot of little stuff floating around that's a lot bigger than that. Yeah, there he is. He is there. That's a nice fish. Oh, it's a northern. Boy, there seem to be a lot of pike in here today, that's for sure. It's still fun catching northern. They're good eating. Spinning the spool, going, going, going. See what he is here. There we go. It's a nice fish. Yeah, he's staying. Sometimes I feed these fish by hand with my drag. Yeah, another pike. Imagine that. We got quite a few of these things today. They moving in. You can see this thing is fresh out of Lake Superior. There's a lot of bait. It's a nice silver fish. They're all moving in out of Lake Superior. I think Lake Superior is a lot colder and there's a lot of food in here, so they're all coming in here to fatten up for the winter time. All the fish. We're getting at the end of the day here. Could be the last fish that I yank on. Figured at least hit one more waypoint and looks like it might actually have paid off, hopefully. It's been a good day out here. Caught lots of fish, had a lot of fish on, had a few break-offs, had a few drops. It's fun when you can spend the time with all your friends. And that's probably the most special thing, when you can share it with people that enjoy everything like the same as you. Well, let's see what we got. There we go. I think I got him. Yeah, it's staying down, so it's either gonna be a walleye or a pike. It feels like a walleye though now. Pretty good one if it's a walleye. Nice walleye, big walleye. Figured that. Holy smoke, that's gotta be a 30-incher. Oh, that's a 10-pounder. That's a 10. Yeah, holy smokes, he's got a whitefish in his mouth. Look at this. Look at the size of that. Wow. Here it comes. Yeah, almost got his head. Isn't that a whitefish, Larry? Sucker? So you could use pretty good sized suckers out here. I'm gonna get it out of my hands. And he still wanted that. After all that, he still wanted that little crick chub. Just barely hooked right there in the mouth. And we came all the way back to where we caught the first walleye today and ended up with a giant here at the end. Nice.
Well, that's it for tonight. If you'd like to keep tabs on what's coming up on Discovering or see where we've been, you can join us on Facebook or go to 906outdoors.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week right here on Discovering.
Been on some nice fish here in Portage, smallmouth, pike, and walleyes, and they've all been pretty decent. Got some big crick chubs and suckers. that we're dragging on live bait rigs here. It's just like tip-up fishing. You got to let them go and run off with it and turn it around their mouth and swallow it. So, you know, their bait's about that big, so it takes it a little while, and you kind of play with them a little bit, and you pull back and test and see if they're there. Yeah, he's still there. You can see my rod tip right there, and you can see him. He's just kind of toying with it right there right now, and that helps them take it, but you got to have a real limber rod like we have right there. These are some Fenwicks. They don't make them anymore. Call them popping sticks. And you just toy with them a little bit, and they run a little bit further, and hopefully turn these things around and get them down in their mouth. Let's see what we can do here. That got him. Oh boy, he came. Walleye though. Smallest one that we've taken out of here. Talk about big walleyes and then get a small one. But that's a nice eating size right there. But you can see these fish are coming in out of Lake Superior. The ones you catch in here that are golden, they've been in here, and these are silver. So they're just starting to come into the bay right here, getting ready to do their thing in the springtime. So, but I'm gonna measure them here. We'll see what we got. We got 15 and almost a half right there. So he'll make a nice meal right there. We'll put them in the live well for dinner here tonight. Here, I'll give it to you, Larry. I seen a fish way up, and I raised it about 5 feet off the bottom. But I think what happened here, it was a pike. He bit the sinker right off. I felt him down there. I raised it way up. He didn't see the bait, but he seen the sinker. A lot of times when you're fishing, you know, and you're using live bait rigs and everything, you know, sometimes you raise up and you'll feel bam, a fish hit it, or you're dragging your bottom bouncer along, bam. Well, this is one of those that the pike seen the sinker because I had a little orange bead or pink bead behind it, and they seen it and came up and grabbed the sinker because I could feel them tugging on it like that. So I dropped it down and I went, wow, I don't feel no weight. That's why he ate my weight. Ooh, he's there. Boy, he's running, isn't he? Hope it's another great big walleye like those ones that were running the other day like that. But we're out in 27 feet, so smallies are always shallower than the walleyes. So that's one thing. When you're catching smallmouth, you can always figure on the walleyes will always be a little deeper. So, but I've been zigzagging down this break here and trying to figure out, and seems like when we come to the top part of it, we're catching smallies. We get down to the bottom part, it's either going to be a northern or it's going to be a walleye, it looks like. So hopefully Kurt's got a nice walleye here. You got him. Ooh, yeah, that's a good fish. That's a good fish. Ooh, a pike.
All the way up here.
At least we'll get this one in this time. There you go. It'll give me a little, if he's 24 inches, it'll give me more practice at deboning these things. There he comes. I am now. He's just caught in the teeth there. Let's see what he is here. Sure. 24 3/4 inches. So once you learn how to cut these babies up and get rid of the Y bones, it makes a big difference. Larry showed me a good way. You just start right here with a fillet knife and go right down to the backbone all the way right to here. Cut that right down and you got the loins right across the top, and then you cut this across right here and then fillet it right down. Then take each fillet off of each side, and then you got to get underneath the Y bones right here, and it's really simple. So I like practicing and getting a little better at it all the time. I think I got one. He hit my sinker and I pulled it forward real fast, and then he got my minnow. Now comes the waiting game again. You know, and sometimes you can set the hook right away, but you better have the right size minnow, and you got to have the right size fish. If we're, you know, if I knew it was a 10-pound walleye that just grabbed this, I'd probably, you know, set the hook, but it might be another 15.5-incher, and you got to give him a little time to run off and turn it around and everything. Yeah, nope, he's right there. He ran back toward the boat. Now he's just sitting right there. You know, you can get them to eat it a little more. If you got the right equipment, these soft, whippy little rods like this, the fish can't really feel you. And I'm using 6-pound Berkeley 100% fluorocarbon. So the line's pretty much invisible to the fish, and it's real limp, real limp stuff. There he is. Oh yeah, a little bit of weight here. Come on, be a walleye. Wow, this thing's a big fish. Big fish. Feels like a walleye. Nice fish. There's this thing. Oh, what is it? Big walleye. Look at the size of that walleye. That's a big walleye. That's what we came out here for. There we go. Oh, that's a tank right there. That's a good fish right there. That's what we're, I think that's probably what the last one was that scaled my crick chub up, but I was pretty sure it was a walleye. Yeah, we'll get him off and might take a little work on this one. You know, this is a classic fall spot where we're fishing right here. It's a steep taper, and the only way you can find out it's a steep taper, you just get a hydrotopographic map, and you see these lines, these contour lines are bing, bing, bing real close together. It's 37 feet way out there, but boom, it goes right up to 8 feet, and in between that 37 and 8, it's just like a wall, and that's what they do. They come and push the bait right up against there. You know, it's a good feeding spot in the springtime. You know, they'll drop off into those areas. You'll catch a few fish. He's there, yeah. But they're more on the flats. They'd be on the north side of the lake. They'd be more over on that side of the lake, wherever the flats are that come close to deep water. So they got deep water access, but where the weeds are also starting to emerge because the water warms on that side. So when they get done spawning, whether it's in the lake on rocks or in the creeks around here, they come to these flats and they feed on the little minnows and stuff that are hanging out in the early emerging weeds, because the bugs are starting to hatch in there too. So it's just a bunch of a food chain going on. But in the fall time, the fish are all growing up, and now they're schooled up, and now the fish will push them up against these steep breaks, and all kinds of fish will be in these steep breaks in the fall. As you see here today already, we got northern walleye and smallmouth bass. You know, there's perch and crappies and everything else in here too, but we haven't caught one yet. But if we had the right, baits on, smaller jigs, smaller minnows, and probably went up closer to the top edge of the where the weeds are growing right off of the steep bank, then we'd probably be catching, some perch and crappies and, rock bass, stuff like that up here. But this is, a real classic area, and that's all I do in the fall time is I look for steep breaks, and I fish the steep breaks. You start seeing fish, you fish it, and then in the springtime, if you're in the spring, you're fishing out in fronts of the rivers, in fronts of the creeks and gravel areas and the flats. It'll be easy to cut up. Seen 2 great big fish down there. Don't know what they are yet, but they're fish, and one's actually taking my minnow and running away with it, so we'll let him do that. He hasn't even stopped. The north side of the lake, if you can find some stuff on there, that's going to be the first place they're going to get most active. But any flat on that lake, after it opens up and everything starts warming, is going to be great. Give him a try here. He's probably a nice big fish. Shallow water first. The big females will drop off in a little bit deeper water, but the males will be up in the shallow water in the springtime, and that's the most active fish because they're still looking for the females that may be stragglers. Big northern. I see them coming across the surface, and the males don't leave until all the females are gone, so you get more action out of the males at that time than trying to catch the bigger females that have dropped off and are resting, and they take a little bite to eat once in a while. But right now they're putting on the feed bag in the fall time, so it's 2 different habitats located in the same lake or reservoir, so you just have to understand what the fish do at different seasons. That's a big northern. Holy crow. Well, that's the only reason I probably got him in right there. It's that Daiichi bleeding bait hook was hooked on the outside. Probably had the minnow right across in his mouth. That's a big northern right there. That's a really good one. He goes past he's over 34 inches long. You want to keep your hands out of that mouth.